Welcome into another edition of This Is the Shoot. Today, we're going to be talking about Vince McMahon and what he said to Austin Theory back on Monday night. And is it over the line? Did Vince McMahon take things a little bit too far? It's a mixed reaction between wrestling fans around the globe, what I've gathered, what I've seen, comments I've read. And I'm going to break down my thoughts on it here during this little show. As always, if you like the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid to check out older videos and leave a comment on what you thought about what Vince McMahon had to say to Austin Theory. Was it too far? Did you agree with Vince McMahon? Did you laugh at what he said? All that, just don't be afraid to say it. So, Monday night, Austin Theory and Vince McMahon's been going back and forth. And they've been segments that have really brought in, I think, a lot of younger viewers onto Vince McMahon. I believe it's helped out Monday Night Raw. It's definitely a major rub. And Austin Theory has been going back and forth with Finn Balor, trying to impress Vince McMahon by jumping Finn Balor. But Austin Theory would have a one-on-one match on Monday Night Raw against Finn Balor, in which he lost. And you can see he was getting ready to knock on the Vince McMahon's door after the loss, and he walked away, and he didn't want to face Mr. McMahon. Later on in the show, Finn Balor's doing a backstage segment. Bada bing, bada boom, bing bong. Hits him. Jumps him. What Vince McMahon said was, beat the pudding out of him. Which, okay, that was a little corny of a line. Made me laugh a little bit, but I was like, wow, that was, what a joke. But in this segment is where the controversy springs up. In this segment is what Vince McMahon says that seems to just kind of rattled the fan base in WWE and probably some of the older wrestlers. So Austin Theory said, "Did you see what I did? I beat him. I jumped Finn Balor. I got him back." And Vince McMahon goes, "Yeah, I did. I did see that, and I kind of enjoyed it. Hence, you kind of beat the pudding out of him. Give me the chocolate pudding." I'm probably gonna get unfollowed for that. I'm not the best Bill Cosby impressionist. But Theory's bragging, and Vince says, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with you. And then he goes, I think I know. I know. Maybe, and I quote, maybe I should fire you. I enjoy firing people, especially enjoy firing people just before the holidays. It gives me a warm feeling in my stomach, like I just had a really good meal. Finish, end of the quote. That line right there, I didn't take that offensive, me personally, but I will say it was ballsy of Vince McMahon to come out there and say that, especially with all the releases that have been happening and people thinking that Vince McMahon is a heartless, ruthless individual. Knowing how Vince McMahon has been through his whole lifespan as being the head of the WWE, he was in character. He knew it would rile people up. He knew it would make people upset. He knew that people would not enjoy hearing that line at all, especially during the holidays. Vince McMahon, I've said this before and I've defended Vince McMahon before. He knows what sells. And even Eric Bischoff in his book, Controversy Equals Cash. Him saying this is going to fire up the WWE fan base for one, and it has. He's ruining social media, easy for me to say. He's ruling social media right now because people are debating it. He's in the headlines, and you can just hear him now. Ha, 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 I knew I'd get him. Once again, I'm not an impressionist. This was a very ballsy, chancy line in which Vince McMahon came out and said. It's not, to me, it's not too far. It's not over the line. You ask many of the fans, people would believe that's what Vince McMahon likes to do anyway. It's just fire people. Wrestling fans as a whole, especially AEW fans. Now, I'm both. I'm AEW and a WWE fan. I'm a wrestling fan. I think for wrestling fans, we don't have no problem with what Vince McMahon said. The fact of the matter is, Vince McMahon is not a tyrant. Vince McMahon is not insensitive. Vince McMahon is a human being. He knows what releasing people, it devastates families, it messes lives up. He knows that. He don't want to fire people, but there's probably some people he does. But he's a businessman first. So he's just doing what's business, what's right by business. Obviously, he's not planning on firing Austin Theory because Austin Theory is right there with him. Now, if Austin Theory does actually not impress Vince McMahon later on down the road, possibility. But Vince McMahon sees something in him, obviously. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in there with Vince McMahon. So Vince McMahon saying what he's saying is just feeding into the hate that everybody is putting on him anyway. And how do you conquer that in today's society? You just hit it head on. You just hit it head on and you say, you know what? Instead of running away from it, instead of hiding behind it, I'm just going to put it out there for everybody to see it. Everybody already thinks it, so I might as well just do it. So to me, it's not over the line. I understand if some people may think it's over the line, but guess what? End of the day, it's a wrestling promotion. If you think you can do better to get viewers, you think you can do better than you, why don't you just write Vince McMahon and say, I can do a better job than you and let me prove it. I don't care if you're an AEW diehard, a WWE diehard, an Impact diehard. If you are a wrestling fan, you get enjoyment out of every little thing that kind of happens. Not every little thing. There's some things that I watch and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? There's Monday Night Raws where I'm like, well, what the heck are they thinking in this show? I've done it with AEW Dynamite. There's the AEW Dynamites. I don't care how good it is. To everybody else, to me, it's like, whoa, this is a major miss. This turns me off. And normally it's when there's a bunch of chaos and it just doesn't make sense. It's just chaos, 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 chaos. I like something that makes sense. I like story-driven rivalries. I like story-driven shows. That's what I enjoy. I don't care what you enjoy. I'm happy you enjoy what you enjoy. I'm not going to nitpick because you did not like what Vince McMahon said. I'm not going to bash you because you didn't like what Vince McMahon said. I'm not going to call you too sensitive. I'm not going to call you insensitive if you absolutely enjoyed and loved what Vince McMahon said. The fact of the matter is, Vince said what he said. It doesn't need to be all torn up. It doesn't need to be broken down. He said what he said. Obviously, Vince McMahon is getting in character. When he's on screen, he plays the bad guy and he plays it phenomenally. I will say, don't let it just distract. Don't let it turn you away from WWE because Vince McMahon is getting in character. If nothing else, more people should get like Vince McMahon. More people should be a stricter heel to get people to hate them like Vince McMahon. Some wrestlers are on the verge of that. Seth Rollins is somebody who I cannot stand. Not as a wrestler. I enjoy him in the ring, but his character just drives me up the wall. That's what wrestling is about. It's about stirring up controversy. It's about, if you are a bad guy, it's about getting people to hate you. That's what it's about. Oh, times have changed. Times haven't changed. At least as far as wrestling, what works in wrestling doesn't change. If you enjoy fast-paced matches with no story build up to it at all and people's not selling anything, congratulations. But if you're like me and you like the story, you want to hate the person in the ring, you want to cheer for the other person. Think it back in the Attitude Era, folks. Everybody loved Stone Cold Steve Austin. Everybody was behind him. Everybody hated Vince McMahon. Why? Because of things like what he did on Monday night. He would say things and do things that would make you hate that individual and hate the Vince McMahon character. The Vince McMahon of which we're seeing on screen right now is a Vince McMahon character. It's not Vince McMahon himself. Learn to embrace the hate of Vince McMahon. I know my shirt says rise above hate, hustle loyalty, respect. I know it says that. But I'm telling you right now, you got to embrace it when it comes to WWE. You got to embrace it when it comes to wrestlers because that is their job, to make you hate them. And if they're a babyface, it's to make you love them. That is what it's about. Please don't turn yourself away from wrestling because of what somebody said in character. And quite frankly, if people's upset with Vince McMahon just said here on Monday night, they need to be upset with what MJF has said, because MJF has said way worse things than that. It's all about staying in character. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave the video like this. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. What did you think? Vince McMahon? I hate the character, but I love the man. And I'll see you guys later.